Kia ora Māgi. Well, Marley, I'm Marley. My journey's fairly similar, but not in so many ways. I guess from an early age, well, when I started walking and discovering myself as Māori, just who am I? Am I Māori? Am I not Māori? So I think once I started on that journey, I always knew I was going to have kauae, but I kind of had it in my mind that I needed to achieve something. So one of them was giving up smoking. One of them was graduating from panikere, that I had to have the deal. So I put all these, I guess, barriers in front of me. And then we moved back to Waikato here. I'd been gone from home for a long time, very disconnected from my whānau. And I reconnected through my uncle who passed away a couple of years ago. And Mum and I walked onto our marae, Mauria marae, the back of Huntly, and I walked on as a stranger, which really hurt. And Mum said at Uncle's tangi that we're sitting there in the wharenui, and Mum said, I want to come back here and get buried. And I said, okay, well, we're not coming back here as strangers, Mum, So from Uncle's tangi, I started reconnecting with my marae and went back to all the marae hui and AGMs and pokai. First pokai was the year before last. Never been to a pokai in my life. Never been to a coronation. People were like, what? So really starting to reconnect with my waikatotanga, which I'm absolutely in love with. And then end of last year we had at our marae hui Brad Totoriwa, who used to work here, he's a cousin, said, all right, well the King's Tuangahuru's coming up in 2017, and Mauria, we need to put something on for our pokai. And one of those things was a moko papa. And he was like, what do you reckon, cuz? You're keen? It's like, I don't know about that, bro. And so me and my younger cousin, and it was her dad that passed, that I spoke about, Lilo, we're both and she was like, what do you reckon, cuz? And it's like, well, as far as we know, none of our whānau, none of our kuia have ever had a kauae. So we would be the first. So she was keen, and I was still kind of sitting on the fence. But I said to her, I'll be there for your cousin. And she goes, okay, cool. So, and my husband was really, really supportive, as were my children. They're like, Mum, you should get it. And Rangi's like, babe, I think you'd look stunning. So I said, okay, well, I'll go along and I'll see how I feel. And so, we did first night, the pōtapu. And I think I already mentally knew that I was going to leave here wearing one. Right. I think like UK, so I think I could see it. But not really realising that I could see it. And, there was 11 others that were, had already confirmed that they were going to get their kauae, and a couple of our kuia were getting their lips done. They'd already had their kauae done. So, and me and Brad, actually, we were sitting on the fence. I wasn't sitting on the fence by myself. I was sitting on the fence with my cousin Brad, Tosorewa. And I'm standing there by my cousin watching her get hers done, and it was just beautiful. And I said to Brad, is there a spare time, bro? And he goes, yeah, cuz, yeah, you'll be the last wahine on the table. I was going, okay. And he goes, then I'm after you. I didn't have the time to kind of mentally prepare, but I did in a way, I guess. So Henare Brooking was my kaitā, and I felt drawn to him. I was supposed to be on the table with somebody else, but for some reason I just felt more drawn to Henare than I was to the other kaitā. And in terms of the design, it was like, okay, bro, how does this work? I don't know how this works. So was I supposed to come with a design? And it's like, no, we'll just sit down and have a kōrero Marley, and tell me why you want to have your kauae. And so my kauae actually has a name. My husband gave me my name, and it's Te Uhi Tau Uki Uki, and it means connecting your past, your present and your future. And for me, that was my whole journey. This whole journey has been about me reconnecting with my marae, and making sure that it was we were known and we were safe for when we took Mum home, which unfortunately we did. My mum passed away 2 months ago. So we had that conversation just before I jumped on the table, and I felt really, really calm and relaxed and like this was the right thing to do. And so lying on the table, I think for the first maybe couple of minutes, hearing the hum of the gun, feeling it on my kauai, was a little bit startling. But then I felt this really calm presence and this breath on me the whole time. And it was my sister Deanna, who passed away when she was 13. She was there with me the whole time. But like you, Case, I kind of transcended into this other space. I could hear what was going on around me. I could hear my husband still making jokes. And then when he finished, and he was really fast. I think it took him 20 minutes to draw it on, and then maybe 25 to do the actual ink work. And so before I knew it, it was over. And got off the table, woke up and sat up, and tears just flowed. And I didn't want it. It was like, oh, do you want a mirror? It's like, no, I don't need to see it. I could see the expression on everyone's faces around me that, it was meant to be. It was a lovely way to really reconnect and cement that relationship with my marae and my hapu. Just recently having lost Mum and bringing her home and bringing all her mokos home to their marae for the first time. Sorry. Just really cemented this, that this was the right thing. And so it's been a wonderful journey. I absolutely love it and totally blessed.